Thank you, Joe. My name is Tim McCosker, and I am the councilman of the 1-5. And I love an audience where some of you folks haven't heard the 1-5 story yet. Why do we call it the 1-5? First of all, my wife, Connie McCosker, Pastor Connie McCosker, give a wave. This was mostly Connie's idea, and it's a very Juneteenth type message. We used to be the 15th council district. There's 15 districts in LA, right? And so we renamed ourselves the 1-5 because we are one district, 5 beloved communities. I represent Watts. From Watts to the water, I always like to say. I represent the beloved community of Watts. I represent the Gateway, Wilmington, Harbor City, and my hometown of San Pedro. And let's hear it for the entire 1-5. And the idea with calling it 1-5 is that we want to make sure that every single soul in our district is lifted up. Every community matters. Every neighborhood matters. Everybody matters. And that's very Juneteenth. Well, today we're celebrating freedom, a freedom too long delayed. And we are celebrating the fact that it took years, but they showed up. They showed up in Texas and they finally said, we are emancipated. And we recognize that it is an injustice, long delayed, but freedom came. And I also want to say, just reflecting on this beautiful program, that we did start in prayer. We started in prayer. We all woke up today because God let us wake up, gave us another day, right? And God gave us another day, and God gave us the opportunity to put one foot in front of another and be here together and celebrate freedom and celebrate American history, because Black history is American history. We are celebrating American history today. And the beautiful music, that was prayer. The songs were prayer. Thank you, Wendy. Thank you to our musical group. That was prayer. And then we did the formal prayer right in the middle. But to God, all time is the same, right? And so it all counts. And so I just want to say very humbly that I appreciate Joe giving me this recognition for a few years ago, saying, you know what? It would be really great if we got the great Ernest Lee together with the NAACP and Joe and Cheyenne and celebrated this symbol of freedom. This is a symbol of freedom from the Korean government, saying we so appreciate America for your 200 years of being in the United States. Many of those years marred by slavery, but it was a great recognition. It was a great recognition by the Korean government to America, and it was about freedom. It was about appreciation for us being with South Korea and giving them the support that they needed for freedom. And then bringing together this bell with our Black community and saying that this is an opportunity for us together to celebrate freedom, to literally ring a bell for freedom here in San Pedro and say that across the 1-5 it matters, but right here at this Korean-American exchange of friendship, it matters to celebrate freedom. Because as we heard in so many of our comments and our prayers, we're all together in this. This is not just Black history. It is Black history, but it's American history. And we're all in this. We all have to be in this. And I'm so gratified that at the city it's a holiday, at the federal government it's a holiday. And I assure you, we're going to work on that petition or that legislation. We're going to make it a state holiday, right? Yeah, we're going to make it a state holiday. I'm gratified that our assembly member and our great senator are up in Sacramento working on issues of justice and equality and reparations. But we should give them the day off on June 19th, right? So, all of that being said, thank you so much. I'm humbled and I'm appreciative of the beautiful music, of the beautiful prayers, and the opportunity to be with you and to allow me into this celebration where we celebrate the long-delayed freedoms and sort of the God-given right for us to be equal and to be loved. And I have one James Lawson story, and I don't know if Don Lou remembers this, but we had lunch with James Lawson right at the beginning of our administration 22 years ago when we were with Jim Hahn. And I was talking to James Lawson, and you got to forgive me because it was 20 years ago. Remember, we were teaching tolerance back then. The catchword was teaching tolerance. And we have to be tolerant of this community and that community. And James Lawson, Reverend Lawson, stopped me right in the mid-sentence and says, Mr. McCosker, we do not tolerate, we embrace. We embrace. That moment where I was schooled by Reverend James Lawson, humbled by him in the best, kindest way, has stuck with me every single day of my life since then for 20 years. We don't tolerate one another. We embrace one another. We love one another. And so this is a moment of love and embrace. Thank you, and God bless you.
Tim, I think your assistant wants you.
Oh, she does.
Yes, go ahead.
Oh, really?
You want to do it next? We have honorees that I want Tim to be the one to come up here and do this for me. The 1-5 is giving honorees to, I'll find out who in a minute. But while he's doing that, I also have I want to mention out that we have a legend in our community that I haven't recognized because I didn't see him here. He was way in the back. The first black fire chief in LA's history, also a senior pastor at Mount Sinai Baptist Church, Doug Berry. Doug? Also, I want to recognize that we have two other legends in our community here. We have the editor from Random Lease newspaper, Terrell Jarrett. And we also have the owner of the Random Lease newspaper, a friend, James Allen. James? Now, as I'm going through the crowd today, I may miss someone, but I'm gonna bring you up here. So right now, before I do that, Tim, I have something else I wanted to do. We have from the Los Angeles County African American Employees Association, who's also doing the food here, and it's just so special. I'm so happy to have her here. So one of the things I asked, I said, how do you become a member of the county association? Do you have to be a county employee? Well, they kind of looked at me and they said, well, you really want to be? I said, yes. So now I'm letting them know that I'm ready to pay my yearly dues today. So anyone else who wants to be a member of the Los Angeles County, I want them to know that I want them all to be, because we all got to stick together. But right now, if I can bring her up, Delia Gant, where are you? Dolores, I'm sorry, sweetie.
It's okay. It's okay. Yeah, these names.
See, I'm a new member, so I got to get used to this. Go right ahead.
Say freedom, y'all. Say freedom, y'all. So, excuse me?
I mean, you have to say something either before you or after.
Real quickly, you guys, I just wanted to announce that it's called the Living History. It's a Lane Victory Maritime Center. Today, this is a art gallery of the ship, the Lane ship. It's called Lane, and it's called Lane because this is this only ship that's still named after the slave Lane who started Lane College. Okay, so today is $15. Today is $5 if you go, and the ship is right across the way there. Okay, we're going to be passing this out after our Madam President finished speaking about Juneteenth.
Thank you. So, again, we are grateful for this opportunity to celebrate Juneteenth in the beautiful city of San Pedro. So I am Deloria Ellis Gann. I have the honor to serve as the president of the African American Employees Association. Our association was established in 2009, and we have about 1,200 members across 15 departments. And guess what, y'all? The County of Los Angeles, we're off today. Yes, celebrate that. So in addition to the things that are going on in this great county of Los Angeles, the African American Employees Association was established so that we could with the professional development of our members. And through education, we knew that our members would be able to advance in the county. But not only do we do that type of thing, having workshops and things of that nature, we give scholarships. We put our money where it is. So we have 5 scholarships for foster youth. We also have 2 scholarships for probation youth. We have scholarships for our members. But one of the things that we celebrate mostly is to try to eradicate racism. We try to eradicate racism by uplifting our culture. So Black History Month is a very, very special month for us, but also Juneteenth. And at this time, I am going to ask the former president and my buddy, Mr. Eddie Yen, to come stand in solidarity with me. He is the executive officer of the board. And I also want to thank and give a hand to our executive advisor who's here with us today, Ms. Terry Hardy. She is the director of the Department of Child Support Department. So here she is, and she's standing here. And if you are a Lakeia member and you're not standing up, please stand up. Because what we do is we elevate, we educate, and we empower. And so that is one of the main things that we do here today. But this buddy right here to my right is Mr. Eddie Yen. He has always stood in solidarity with Lakeia, and we really appreciate the partnership. So the refreshments that you see there today, the donuts, the coffee, and others, it was a unified thing that we did today. Now what you'll see being passed out to you is one thing we want you to walk away with about Juneteenth. Yes, it's about freedom. But did you know that there was a flag that was associated with Juneteenth? Take a look at this flag. I want to explain this flag to you, and I'll be out of your way. There is a National Juneteenth Celebration Foundation, and they raised this flag in 2000 in Boston, Massachusetts. They created this flag, and it had its own design in the colors of red, white, and blue. It celebrates the end of slavery in the United States. Now take a look at it, because the slogan of the flag is New Freedom, a New People, a New Star. There's a red arch on this flag. Do you see the arch? There's a blue background and the Star of Texas bursting with new freedom throughout the land. Now, we know that you may have recognized that in 2021, Juneteenth was established as a federal holiday. Through the Honorable Supervisor Holly Mitchell, Los Angeles County made it a county holiday with a unanimous vote by the board. And they're also doing amazing things in the county related to ARDI. This is an acronym you all need to get familiar with. Anti-Racism, Diversity, and Inclusion. Anti-Racism, Diversity, and Inclusion. So, as today we celebrate Juneteenth, we celebrate African Americans, our resilience, our achievements, while aiding in the preservation of historical narratives. This is Freedom Day. This is Freedom Day. And if I can just ask you to say, freedom, freedom. And we are looking forward to the ringing of the Korean bell with freedom. I thank you for your time, and I thank you for your partnership. I don't go nowhere without my coffee.
Thank you so much. This is just becoming a great day. We had a speaker from the county. Do we have a speaker who wants to say something from the Asian community? I know you were here, and I saw you walk away. Also, while he's standing here, and I don't want to disrespect him, but we also have a special birthday today. We normally celebrate it on a cruise ship that we have at night, but for some reason, we no longer have fireworks here in Los Angeles because of, it hurts the water. So we won't have it this year. But Julie Herta, today is her birthday, and I want everyone to say happy birthday to Julie. Julie, happy birthday. Where is she? She always hiding, but she's here. There she is. Happy birthday, Julie. Go ahead, sir.
Thank you, thank you. So usually when I follow Delora, I'm always like thinking I need to start amp up my energy. But Delora, you always set the standard high. I never think that I could meet it. So thank you very much. What I want to just I guess let people understand what the Asian American community, our gratefulness for celebrating Juneteenth, I think, stems from all the way back to the Civil Rights Movement. Now, if we understand immigration, and many of us Asian Americans are, families from immigrant families, immigration would not be possible without the Civil Rights Movement. It's a Civil Rights Movement by African Americans in this country that broke through the wall so that we didn't have to have a quota system, that created legislation that allowed immigrants to come into this country. And so, as an Asian American immigrant, part of my advocacy and part of my education for the Asian American community is to understand the history of the United States. And part of that history, a very large part of that history, especially for those of us who come from diverse communities, is the Civil Rights Movement. So that's the one thing that I think what I want to share from the LA County Asian American Employees Association. Now, I'm also taking off my hat as the president of the LA County Asian American Employees Association. We've done so much collaborative events with the African American Employees Association, Hispanic Managers, Chicano, as well as many other employees associations. And as I take my hat off and step down as president to take on another job, I'm also the executive officer for the Board of Supervisors. And as the executive officer, I see my role as ensuring that I'm getting the message of the Board of Supervisors out there. We call ourselves the voice of the Board of Supervisors because we help them in putting together their agenda, the board meetings, so that their priorities are communicated out to the community. And we also are the ears of the Board of Supervisors. So if you have any input into how the county is run, we have commissions, advisory bodies that will listen to you, and that will bring that information back up to the Board of Supervisors. What I want to share with you is this past Tuesday, with a collaboration of the LA County African American Employees Association, we have put together, or they have put together, a table to celebrate and highlight and educate the county employees at the Hall of Administration, a table celebrating Juneteenth and having to explain the history of it. And I want to thank Delora, Tara, all of Lakeia for putting that together. So if you're a county employee and you walk through the halls of the Kenneth Hahn Hall of Administration, you will see a table set aside celebrating, teaching, educating about Juneteenth. And I want to thank our partners at Lakeia for making that happen. So thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Let's give him another round of applause. Thank you. And right before we give the presentation, Tim, come up. I also want to thank, I didn't do much this year to plan it. I'm sorry, Tim, I didn't. But also I want to thank Sherry Lopez and Rhonda Dowdy for all the work they did to put this together. Thank you. And with that said, come on up, Tim. I apologize. There's just so many people to thank.
That's okay. We also have some, in the true spirit of Juneteenth, we're also thinking about the future and celebrating great and the your dedication and commitment to the community are truly inspiring. And these awardees are a couple of special folks. The first, I will say, I met him as a student on campus at San Pedro High, right? And he's wearing my Juneteenth pin. I'm so grateful that you saved that for a year. He was also a student volunteer at the Korean Friendship Bell, and he's pursuing an international relations and geography degree at Sacramento State University. We are so pleased to have him back in our back in his neighborhood, Mr. Jordan Rivers. Rivers, please come forward. Mr. Jordan Rivers.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Let me just say how humbled I am. You actually, when we first met, I was actually a returning alumni, saying hi to Mr. Bobich and Mr. Zubich and returning alumni because I enjoy going back to the school that helped shape who I am as an individual and the people who helped and see me grow and develop as an individual as I embark on this journey. I also do want to say a special notice that as a student in Sacramento State, I'm able to regularly visit our Assemblyman Mike Gibson and our State Senator Stephen Bradford. And although he's terming out, I had the ability to work as an independent research assistant on the study of reparations in the California Task Force. And I was able to interview Senator Bradford, and I can reaffirm to the audience today that he is putting in 100% of his effort and commitment and ensuring that this is not just an achievement for the Black community, but an achievement for everyone, for the entire state of California to best embody the nation as we help recognize the strife of African Americans, but with the presence of me and my friend Nike, who a fellow honoree, help ensure that we don't just present the state with the future, but our presence here symbolizes wholeheartedly the next endeavor, overcoming the hurdles of circumstance and adversity, but also achieving and recognizing the achievement of African Americans and our community, and how that regardless of the strife and the history of those circumstances, that we can today be better, prouder, and achieve far more unified with other groups that experience similar series and obstacles of circumstance and come back bigger, better, and stronger. I also want to say that I was privileged to receive 2 opportunities at my university in Sacramento, where one person is selected to represent their campus. I'm not just representing the community, I'm also representing my home university. I've been selected to go to DC this fall, a full ride, full coverage internship working as a congressional intern. I'll be there from July 28th to November 9th amidst the election, the most pivotal election, some would say, where our democratic values will be tested, it'll be a tense period. But I'm happy to be in the epicenter and be part of this chapter that we'll all look back as an important pivotal moment of history. And I call the history of my generation and my experience, not just because of the pandemic, but my experience fostering my identity into adulthood. I always refer to history, I always refer to current events as contemporary history or history in the making. It's something that's developing, it's emerging, and most importantly, we're all a part of it, but we also all have a say. The future may look grim, but when you're someone that's growing into a time where everyone tells you it's grim, you're thinking, oh wait, well my life hasn't started yet. We need to fix this as soon as possible. I have a future to live. I have dreams. I have ideals. Let's make sure this happens and let's get this done. And I'm happy to be an innovator in ensuring that gets done. I'm happy to not just represent my generation, but also my community as well. Thank you very much.
Mr. Jordan Rivers. Remember that name. Look at your future ballots, right? Hurry up, we need you. That was lovely, thank you so much. So this next awardee, another great leader in our community and up and rising star. She's pursuing her master's degree in Korean studies at Yonsei University in Seoul, South Korea, right? And I asked what she was studying, and it sounded complicated. Maybe she'll tell us. Nike Parham. Nike. Let's hear from Ms. Parem.
안녕하세요. 저는 나이키입니다. I always get nervous speaking in Korean, but it's okay. I am, as was said before, I am currently a student getting my second master's in Korean studies at Yonsei University. I am actually in the international studies section, so yay. I'm also currently working with the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, specifically on the USA ROK Alliance, so woohoo, help me with that. I am also a member of both LACEA, the African American Employees Association, and LACEA, the Asian American Employees Association, and a child of the 1-5, might I tell you. I was actually born at King Drew, and have been there all my life. I love Watts, and I have been actually around the 1-5 all the time. And I think what's interesting about this is that when I was younger, I never actually asked what anybody else was. You know how they say, oh, like, what are you? And all that. Never asked that, but didn't realize until my undergrad that I had a lot of Korean and Asian American friends, and didn't realize how much that actually played a part in my life. I was actually born on May 19th, which I don't know if anybody knows who else's birthday that is. They're two very important people, very important to this right now. Malcolm X and Yuri Kochiyama, for people who don't know, from the Japanese American community. And I think being born on that day, and then also being raised in the family that I was, everything about my life was in service, and in service to my community. And my community was always very mixed. And I definitely love still doing that, and love knowing that our history actually makes a lot of sense for our present, and even for our future. So right now I'm actually, I actually have another paper to write now, but right now I'm actually doing a lot of work on how the Black community has either inspired or has been on the continent of Asia. And doing a lot of work, especially in Korea. And if anybody wants to ask me any more about that, I would love to talk to you about it. I do a lot of work in digital media and digital media representation as well. So if anyone has any questions, let me know. I love to talk. But I will talk all of your ears off right now. But yeah. 감사합니다. Hope you guys have a great day.
When I first heard about this incredible young lady, it was from her mother, and she told me she had a daughter who was studying in Korea, and she may possibly be here for Juneteenth. So thank you for making it here. And also her mother, who's also a very special lady herself, I had her sing. We had the King and the Queen of Nigeria here last week. We had a yacht, and she sang for us on that. So I want to, where are you, Tara? Let her know how special, talented she is. Also, we have Madam Laura here. She brought her whole team. I don't know how many, like 20 or 30. And I want to thank them for all coming, and we wave at them. There they are. And now I see standing next to me is Jennifer. And anytime I see Jennifer stand, I know it's important. Come on down, Jennifer. Thank you.
Thank you, Joe, and good morning, everyone. I'm honored to be here representing our County Supervisor, Janice Hahn, as we come together as a community to celebrate Juneteenth and continue this wonderful new tradition of ringing our beloved Korean friendship bell on this most meaningful day. As Joe said, the supervisor has been celebrating Juneteenth for years. She is out of town this year because it is a county holiday, but she wanted me to come and send her warmest wishes to you all. And I must mention that it was at this event last year that she was honored by our local chapter of the NAACP for her work in returning the stolen land known as Bruce's Beach in Manhattan Beach to the descendants of Willa and Charles Bruce, from who it was stolen from nearly a century ago. So I just want to mention that as we talk about property ownership, and Joe, she really did appreciate that honor, so thank you so much for that. But we also want to thank everyone who had a hand in planning this event, Ernest and Joe and Sherry and the council member, and I really just want to recognize our two amazing employee associations, the African American and Asian American County Employee Associations. These associations, I know we've given them a lot of props already, but I just have to say they're such a special and important part of the county family, and we thank you so much for your contributions today. And we also have commendations for our honorees today. Mr. Jordan Rivers, who we met last year, you're so impressive. You're a tough act to follow this morning, and we know you have such a bright future, and good luck in DC, and thanks for all you do.
Thank you so much.
And Nike, you are so impressive as well. Best wishes to you, and thanks for all you do as well. Well, happy Juneteenth to you all. We have recognition for the volunteers that put on this event, but I won't present them all. But this has been such an inspiring and uplifting morning, and we wish you all a happy Juneteenth and enjoy the rest of your day. Thanks so much.